y'all made a pact together. And also, black on black crime, Shadi. You're out here doing your fellow black queen dirty, Miller. Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show. Hello if you're new. So today's episode is going to be a review of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 5, Episode 3. Yes, we are jumping in episode 3. I know I didn't do a podcast for episode 1 and 2, but you know, we're going to start from somewhere. Better late than never. I hope everybody is doing as well as can be, and I really do hope everybody is being as proactive as possible in supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. Feel free to comment down below your thoughts on my commentary. I'm always up for a chat, I'm always up for a debate, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. No hard feelings. And if you're still on the lookout for some resources, I've linked some in my description. So in terms of a quick recap on what I thought of episode 1 and 2 in terms of the new rules for the lip sync, I think it's a pretty good rule. I was a bit skeptical about it, but once I actually saw it play out, I thought, okay, this is interesting. It spices it up. Obviously now it's one top queen lip syncing against a guest lip syncer assassin, and then if they lose, they don't get the tip, and it rolls over to next week, and the girls of the house get to pick who goes home out of the bottom queens and not the top queen. And obviously if the top queen wins, then she gets to choose who goes home. So I feel like that is a nice way to spice things up. I'm here for the creativity because, you know, sometimes it can get a little bit repetitive on RuPaul. In terms of week 1, obviously Derek Berry left. I think that was the right decision. I mean, Homegirl was talking about she's going to bring something different to Britney, but I was just kind of like, where's this? Did you forget at home? Because, I mean, it's a joke right now. Like, you're literally coming in, doing Britney, and then doing celebrity impersonations for your talent show. And then on top of that, you weren't really good. So I was kind of glad to see the back of Derek Berry. She is a messy bitch, and I love myself a messy bitch, but you know, she was the one who performed the worst that week, so I think it was right for her to go. I think it's a kind of like a double slap in the face that she lost to India, because obviously they had this beef and India was out here slaying. She won the challenge. I think it would have been even sweeter if India won the lip sync and then got to send home Derek, because I'm pretty sure she had Derek's name in her bra. But yeah, so long Derek. And then week 2, again on Gina, I was kind of ready for her to go. I mean, the quality just was not there. I mean, you've been in the game this long and this is the quality that you were bringing. Homegirl was even like, send me home. So I was just like, if Homegirl's even seeing like her, if Homegirl is seeing her own material and is like, shit bitch, just send me home, I mean, that kind of says it all. And coming into the competition in terms of who I had my eye on, obviously Shea, she's my fave. She was my fave from her season. She's basically my winner. And I think if Shea is not the winner for this season, I think potentially her competitors, the only people who I think might be able to test her for the crown would be Cracker, potentially India, and potentially Alexis. But I'd be interested to hear from you guys. Who do you think is going to get the crown, honey? And who do you want to get the crown? I'd be interested to hear from you guys. But in terms of the whole cast, I feel like it's a pretty good cast this season. There's not anyone who I didn't like on their season. So yeah, I'm glad to see everybody back. So obviously coming into this episode, obviously Shea won the last challenge. She's feeling herself. She's 20k up. Pockets hefty. She's saying how she can't believe that she beat Alyssa Edwards in a lip sync. I feel like, I don't know, maybe she was trying to be humble, but I mean, if we compare the material, it wasn't really a surprise to me that she beat Alyssa. Alyssa, you know, Alyssa's a decent lip syncer, but Shea is like clearly stronger. But you know, I guess she wants to have her humble, gracious moment, you know, not look too cocky, I guess. And I feel like overall, the overall vibe is that people don't really feel bad that Ongina left, because they kind of just felt like, why was she here in the first place if she had this defeatist attitude? I don't know. I get where they're coming from, but I guess you never really know where someone's head is at. As much as I found her frustrating you never really know where someone's head is at. When she accepted it, she was probably so excited about it. And then when she came to the competition, it was a different story. So I guess, like I said, you never really know what anyone is going through. But yeah, homegirl needed to go. In the episode, it's even revealed that she voted for herself. I mean, you voted for yourself, sis. I mean, there's not really many arguments of whether she should stay. But what did you guys think about Ongina? Do you feel like the girls were being a bit too harsh? Or do you feel like it was her time to go? Of course, there was that situation last week where Cracker out of nowhere just basically said that she wished she whited out the lipstick and wishing that she could have voted Ongina off that week when she wasn't in the bottom. And people were kind of saying, well, why did you do that? I personally think that was very unnecessary, and I feel like that was a bit conniving, because it's like you literally had no option to vote Ongina off. So why would you say that? Why couldn't you have just kept it to yourself? She did apologize, and she did kind of admit in the confessional that she shouldn't have said it, even though she believes what she says. She shouldn't have said it out loud, and she actually did apologize to Ongina. But the girls kind of bring it up again, namely Alexis. It just kind of feels like Alexis has a problem with Cracker this episode. You know, Cracker has been very defensive. She's basically saying how she didn't mean it by any means of malicious intent. That wasn't her intention at all. She wasn't trying to get under her skin or in her head. But I have to call bullshit on that. I mean, why would you say that to someone? I mean, Cracker, just to be honest, Shadi. Just to be honest. Obviously, she apologizes to the girls again, and then Alexis just kind of cuts her off and says, oh, we don't believe you. It's too late. Ongina's already gone. I'm just kind of thinking, well, sis already said sorry to Ongina, so I don't understand why you were snapping at her. It just kind of felt like they didn't even care about Ongina. They just kind of had a problem with Cracker, especially Alexis. And I feel like they should have just let it go. I'm not sure if that was the producers being messy here, but I feel like they should have just let that go. I mean, Ongina and Cracker had already spoken about it. But what do you guys think? Do you think the girls were entitled to check her on that? Because to, dead the behavior right now, to basically warn her like not to try that shit with any of them? Or do you feel like they should have just left it? I'd like to hear from you guys. So there's no mini challenge this week, and the main challenge Root introduces that they're going to be doing a hotel space challenge. I'm guessing it's kind of like the room challenge or club challenge that we saw in the last All-Stars. So obviously we see them preparing their hotel rooms, and then we see them in the workroom. And again, Alexis just comes for Cracker out of nowhere. Like, it was completely unprovoked. And I don't know what Cracker said, but she was just basically talking about how she respects how she's working with the people that she's working with. And Alexis just inserted herself into the conversation and basically accused Cracker of insulting her. And it was just petty and messy, and it was just, again, uncalled for in my opinion. Cracker, says, I didn't mean any sort of disrespect by you. I feel like Cracker was confused, but she didn't want to really, I feel like Cracker was definitely confused and definitely just wanted to tell her, like, what the fuck, like, I'm not even talking about you, but just wanted to keep it cordial because she knows that Alexis is a bit of a hothead. Then Shea kind of pipes up and it's like, nah, she didn't come at you any type of way, so I don't understand why you're coming for her. Obviously they're on the same team, and she's kind of in her headspace of, I don't need Alexis trying to messing with my teammate just before a challenge so she can mess up her psyche. And then Alexis kind of backtracks once Shea checks her and basically like, oh, I misconstrued stuff, or it was miscommunication, and English is my second language. And when she said English is my second language, babe, as somebody who lives with people who English is their second language, but they know how to cuss a bitch real good in English, I call bullshit. I thought that was very cheeky to try and blame her second language. I was just like, for real, bitch, please. You just wanted to come for Cracker and you thought that you'd be able to come with for her and no one would defend her, and you were shook when Shea checked you. And you know Shea is a respected bitch in the house, so you know you can't check, you know you can't come to blows with Shea, so you let it go. I think it's a bit of hypocrisy going on here, because the thing that Alexis was accusing Cracker of is the same thing that she's doing, because I feel like there was no justification here. And it's very clear Alexis has a problem with Cracker, and she was trying to get in her head in that moment. So I just thought it was very interesting. And it seems like Alexis is either going to be the negative Nancy of the season or the tormentor of the season. So I think I'm going to keep my eye on Alexis, but I ain't going to sit here and lie to you like I ain't here for the drama, honey. I was here for the drama. So the hotel space challenge. First group was Cracker, Shea, and Mariah. Then they had the Golden Girls theme. I haven't seen or read up on the Golden Girls, so I was going into this blind. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like Golden Girls reference. I'm like, I don't know what the hell is going on here, Shade. I don't know what the girls go. I don't know who the hell these Golden Girls are. I feel like overall, despite me not really knowing what the Golden Girls theme was, I feel like it was a pretty decent room. I feel like in my opinion, Shea did decent, Mariah did decent, but there was quite a few times where she slipped up here and there, where her face slipped, like when somebody would like mess up their lines or do their lines before they were meant to, like you could see the annoyance on her face. So I was just like, I don't know about that. But Cracker, she was a little bit stiff. There was like glints here and there, but she was a little bit stiff. So I kind of thought she could potentially be vulnerable. Then it was Alexis, Juju, and India's group, and it's this kind of glam jungle theme. And again, I thought it was a decent room, but I thought Juju was the clear standout of the group. I think she performed well. She was committed to her role, and she was the person who my eyes were on. I think India, there were hints here and there, but there was a little bit, so I was just like, pick it up a bit, be a bit bigger. But I felt like, from what I had seen, I thought she had done enough to be safe. Alexis, I felt like Alexis was a bit inconsistent. Sometimes her face, like, there was no facial expressions. Like sometimes she was giving me that fresh Botox face, like not really much expression. And sometimes I would kind of see her face not being in character. So I thought maybe potentially she could be in trouble. Then there was Blair and Miller, and they had a 24 karat gold theme. I thought that they were the worst group, to be honest. I mean, I'm so surprised that they did so well, but I thought that they were the worst group. I felt like their room looked very lazy and cheap and not rich and expensive. And I felt like they basically knocked off Club 96. They kept going, rich, expensive, rich, expensive. I was just like, this is so lazy. So I thought for the sheer laziness, I thought they both would be vulnerable. But I'd be interested to hear from you guys. What did you guys think about everybody's rooms and everybody's performances, basing it off of just what we saw in the episode before the judges' critiques? Who did you think was going to be in the tops? Who did you think was going to be in the bottoms? I'd be interested to know. So then we go to the main stage. The guest today is Martin Lawrence Bullard. He is a designer. He's an English designer. I haven't really heard of him before. Then we've got Nicole Byer from Nailed It, a show on Netflix. And I feel like they were both decent judges. We have the runway, which is a 3-in-1 look, which I thought was quite interesting. So I was expecting some creativity. So in terms of my tops and my bottoms of the week, so my top looks were India's look. It was couture, it was haul, it was fashion, it was everything. And I've got my eye on India. I feel like she could be a competitor. I think maybe just the group performances she's not great at, but if there's not too many of those left, I think she could have potential to go to the final, because I'm just loving the creativity, darling. And then my next favorite look was Cracker's look. I think she was my favorite look, actually. Again, the creativity, the organization, the shapes, the seamless reveal. It was everything, darling. Those two looks is what you call a 3-in-1, because some of these 3-in-1 looks, honey, were a little bit lazy. And in terms of the worst, I think my first worst outfit of 3-in-1 outfit of the week is Blair's, and her outfits were just cheap, very costumey, like Halloween costumey. And then the last look, it was just very pedestrian. I was just like, I was thinking, at least if you're going to take these cheap costumey clothes off, there's going to be like something good at the bottom. But it was literally just a really nice jumpsuit and heels. So I was a bit disappointed. And then the next worst look for me was Mariah's look. I just felt like, again, it was basic, anticlimactic. I mean, the first look just looked very pedestrian, and then the last look, I feel like the dress design was nice, but it just felt very ill-fitting. The seams weren't very nice. The top bit like felt a little bit DIY and not the good kind. So yeah, just a bit sloppy. So then we go to the deliberations, and my predictions for the tops and the bottoms of the week. I thought, in terms of the tops, I thought Juju was the clear standout performance. I felt like Juju was the clear winner this week. And I thought if she wasn't the winner, I thought maybe possibly Shea would be the winner. Then in terms of the bottom, I thought that Blair and Miller were going to be in the bottom, because I thought that they had the worst room. And then in terms of individuals, I thought either Cracker and Alexis. But like I said, I'd be interested to hear from you guys. Who did you think was going to be in the tops, and who did you think was going to be in the bottom? So the first result we hear is the favourite suite. And it was the 24 carat room, so Blair and Miller's room. And I really just couldn't believe it. I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, well, okay, each to their own, but I thought that deserved to be in the bottom. So obviously Blair and Miller are safe, and then Juju was revealed to be the winner, and it's her first win. It's her first win, so obviously she got a little bit emotional. And yeah, I'm proud of Juju. I'm proud of Juju. I think she could potentially be a strong contender as well now, actually. Then we go to the critiques of the remaining girls. So Alexis was first up. She gets positive critiques, but she's red for her outfit. She had this intersection in the middle of her 3-in-1 look, where at first she was a circus tent, then she was a ballerina, then she was a trapezium artist. And when she came out as a ballerina, I was like, I've never been to a circus, but I'm pretty sure ballerinas are not in the circus. I'm thinking maybe she got confused with Circus du Soleil, but even still, those are not technically just or only ballerinas. But then we have India, and she gets positive critiques for her look, but she gets critiqued for her performance. They basically say that she faded into the background and that she needed to do better. But even then, I still kind of thought she was going to be safe. Then we get Mariah, and she's red for her runway, and she gets a negative critique for her performance as well. So I was just like, oh girl, it ain't looking good for you, Mariah. Just like, it's looking like you're going to be at the bottom, girl. Then we get Cracker. She gets positive critiques for her runway, but she's critiqued for her performance. They say that there are good bits in her performance, but they say that there were some bits that were a little off. And she begins to get emotional, I believe. But then no tears kind of came out. It kind of felt like she was putting on a bit of a show. Basically, I forgot what she said actually. But it was like, you know, some people are telling me that I'm this and this and this, particularly Alexis. So she was kind of throwing Alexis under the bus. So I'm pretty sure Alexis and Cracker are going to keep coming to blows. So I was just like, oh, she's snitching on Alexis to the judges. Okay. She said, it's one, baby. Shea, she's red for her look. And I kind of agree with the critiques because it did look a little bit crafty. I'm not going to lie. I love the creativity, but it did look a bit arts and crafty, babe. She is also red for her performance, which I was quite surprised about because I thought she did pretty decent. But like I said, I haven't seen Golden Girls, so maybe that's why. But after I was like, okay, so that's a double critique on your outfit and your performance. This ain't good, girl. This is looking like you're going to be at the bottom as well. I was just like, oh no, girl, you in danger. So then it's revealed who the bottom bitches are, and the bottom bitches are India, Shea and Mariah. So instantly I was just kind of thinking, my girl Shea, I thought she was going to win. I was thinking, I think that they're going to send Shea home because that is going to be, because I'm thinking they are going to send Shea home because if I was in their position, I would have done the same thing, bitch, because Shea is a beast. So if you have an opportunity to slay the beast, I mean, why wouldn't you take it? I mean, in terms of a game plan, why wouldn't you take it? And then obviously ratings as well. Imagine if Shea went out in the first episode. But that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, obviously, it would be very highly rated. I mean, the Twitter would have been up in a storm if Shea left. If Shea left, a lot of people may not have wanted to continue watching. I believe Shea is she's a bit of an anchor of this season, I think. So I was kind of, obviously when the whole Manila thing happened, it was still, late enough in the show for people to have already committed. Like, we're already 8 episodes deep. Okay, I'm just gonna watch to the end. And plus there was other strong competitors as well. I mean, last All-Star season, that was a cast, honey. I was just kind of thinking, I think they're gonna send my girl Shea home because, like I said, I would have sent her ass home as well. So obviously when the girls are sent backstage, the judges are deliberating. Some of the girls get some things off their chest. India is annoyed that she is in the bottom. She feels like she doesn't think that she should have been in the bottom. And I think so too. I think India wasn't the best person, but she wasn't the worst either. I feel like, if anything, Cracker should have been in the bottom instead of India, in my opinion. Mariah, she was basically not here for Michelle's read because Michelle basically said taking off your jacket is not a look. And she was just basically like, well, what's she trying to say, that I'm lazy? Like, fuck this bitch. I never do anything half-assed. And I was just like, I mean, it is a little bit lazy, sis. I mean, the outfit was a little bit lazy. It was, girl. I mean, it is. But I think a coat can definitely be an outfit. But, I mean, it wasn't really much of a coat, to be honest. It was kind of like a shawl. But anyway. And then obviously the begging begins. All of the bottom bitches are begging everybody to stay in the competition. Shea is just appealing to everyone, saying, I hope you guys respect me. And, I got to give it to Shea. She knew the right words to choose, because she knows she's coming into this competition as a threat. She knows she's a strong competitor. So she's now she's trying to appeal to people's morality or sense of competition or, sense of friendship. Because, you never know who you might need on the outside. And, winning is great. That 100K is great. But in the world of social media and stuff like that, if you're a well-known queen, it's not that difficult to make up 100K. And if you are good friends with a strong queen on the show, when you come out, they can help you out with some shows that will generate income. Because at the end of the day, there is only one winner. If you're not sure if you're even going to win or not, why would you want to fuck up an alliance that could prove of monetary worth on the outside? So I can understand the decision that was made, and I think she was appealing to that as well. So I have to commend Shea for her hustle, because she was very smart with it. So then obviously the girls start talking, and they're basically, Blair brings up basically, obviously Shea, she's a competitor, she's the biggest competitor. I mean, should we just take her out? And, you know, nobody really says anything. Alexis is kind of piping up like, oh, well, she was the worst this week. So, yeah, you know, she got the worst critiques. So I already know Alexis was going to vote for Shea. Everyone was kind of just like, well, And I fully thought everybody was going to vote Shea out. Like, I thought it was a done deal, babe. I thought Juju was also going to vote Shea out. So I thought, again, that was a done deal. Now that I was kind of thinking about the whole kind of working relationship on the outside, maybe I would have held back from doing it. Now that I've just had a good think about that, maybe I would have held back, because if Shea could help me out with jobs outside, I mean, and I wasn't even looking like a winner anyway, so maybe I would have saved Shea. But if I wasn't going to vote for Shea, I don't know, I guess it depends. I think in this case, India, Mariah, if it was like a friendship thing, if I was friends with one, I would have just saved my friend. But if it was like I didn't really know any of them, I probably would have sent. I think in a competitor's way, I think I would have sent home India, because India is the stronger competitor. Mariah, she's gonna have her time eventually. So if I was playing competitively, I really would have voted out India, because even though she's a great competitor on the outside, I mean, she doesn't have the same pull as Shea Coulee. So I feel like I would have sent India home strategically. But who would you have sent home if you were one of the queens and you had your game plan or outside the house plan on? Who would you have sent home? I'd be interested to know. So then we see like little snippets of the voting room, and what was quite interesting is that Miller totally snaked Shea Coulee, because obviously Miller and Shea made a deal, and Shea was like, if I save you this time, if I'm in the same position, you better save me. And she agreed to the deal, and she was basically like, I know we made a deal, but sorry, sis, this is an opportunity, I'm trying to get how I live. I'm trying to get my life out here, and you are obstructing that. So sorry, bitch. I was just like, Miller, you are rude, but I understand. Then we go back to the main stage to prepare for the lip sync. Obviously, Juju is out here lip syncing for the $10,000 tip. In terms of what I could remember from Juju, she was an okay lip syncer, but I wouldn't say she was a strong lip syncer. And this week's lip sync assassin is Monet X Change. And Monet, she's a strong lip syncer, but I would say there's a little bit of leeway with Monet, because I wouldn't call her a lip sync assassin. I think there's certain songs where she would do well in, but I wouldn't say she's an all-rounder lip sync assassin. So I thought potentially, depending on what song it was, Juju could take her. So then the song starts. It's Lizzo Juice, I think it's called, that one. And within the first minute, you already know Monet's won that shit. I mean, Monet was tearing it up. She was giving face, she was giving performance, not one split, honey, and she still tore that stage up. I was just like, I mean, she's just running rings around Juju. So it was clear the house vote was going to win. So obviously, Rue announces that Monet won. But yeah, I've got to give that to Monet. She really gave a performance. And I've seen Monet perform live, and she gives a performance, honey. So if you ever have the opportunity to go see her, take it, honey. But obviously, Monet has to reveal what name she has in her bra. And I was just preparing. I was preparing for the exit speech from Shea. I was preparing for the face that Shea was going to pull, because I just felt like Shea even herself was probably thinking like, these bitches sent me home. And then Monet reveals that it's Mariah who's going home. And Mariah's face was shook. I was shook because I thought they were definitely going to send Shea home. But Mariah was pissed. I think she was just pissed. Like, first off, I thought y'all would be smart enough to send Shea home. And then on top of that, you didn't send Shea home, but you actually saved India over me. So I know Mariah was pissed off. I guess these girls are playing fair. Well, most of them are playing fair and are sending people home on their merits. And out of the three, Mariah, in my opinion, was the weakest queen. So I can respect that decision. I respect, when people want to play fair, and I can respect when people want to play dirty as well. But yeah, I respect the decision, and I think it was Mariah's time to go. I mean, the first episode was very promising with that outfit, but I'm not sure performance-wise, she hasn't been impressing me that much. So yeah, but I wish Mariah all the best. I can say she was not happy, darling, but I wish her all the best. Let me get a little snippet of next week, Shade. It means like there's even more drama going on. It seems like obviously they're going to reveal who voted for who. I'm not sure if Juju's going to reveal who she voted for. I feel like, I don't know who Juju would have voted for. Who do you think Juju voted for? I'm 50-50 of whether she voted for Shea or not. But it seems like only 2 people voted for Shea. So pretty much the rest of the house voted for either Mariah or India. And those 2 people were obviously Miller and Alexis. I think with Alexis it's expected, but I think Shea is going to be more pissed off with Miller. I mean, it's a damn shame. First of all, y'all made a pact together, and also black on black crime, Shawty. You're out here doing your fellow black queen dirty, Miller. So yeah, she needs to be checked because that's cheeky. I mean, like I said, I understand. But she needs to be checked, honey. I mean, I would be pissed if somebody actually tried that with me after I motherfucking saved your ass. Hey, you trying to motherfucking snake me? I mean, it's cheeky. It's cheeky. I respect the cheekiness, but it's cheeky. I mean, if it happened to me, I would be pissed. People are here for Juju basically calling Alexis out. I don't think she called her out, but I think she called her inside when she was just like, second language, my ass, bitch. And yeah, that's literally the first thing that I was thinking. I was like, second language, bitch, really? People are happy that Shea is still in the competition. I mean, I would have lived for the drama of her being out, but she's still my winner and I still want to see her go far. People are here for the messiness that Blair and Miller, it was the best room, but Juju won the crown. I mean, that is a little bit disrespectful. Some people are saying that Mariah was robbed and basically saying she was robbed of top place week 1. I'm not going to lie, my memory's a bit funny. Actually, a place in the top. Okay, place in the top I can get down with. And they said she was unfairly put in the bottom this week. Last week, I can't even remember. Well, people just say that there has been an injustice for Mariah. But I feel like it was like she was justifiably put in the bottom this week. Actually, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't, actually. And you know what? I think it was Mariah's time, but I don't think she should have been up this week either. Well, what do you guys think? Do you think Mariah should have been in the bottom or not? But there's a lot of support for Mariah on the timeline. People are saying that they wanted more from Mariah. I mean, you know what? Maybe she could have offered something more. Maybe. Because, the first look was really good. But I don't know. I feel like performance-wise, I hadn't been impressed. People don't understand how Shea was in the bottom with her look. I mean, I can understand. I mean, it did look a little bit arts and crafts, Charlie. But I mean, you could see the creativity. You could see the creativity behind it. So I think maybe they were being a little bit harsh. I mean, personally, they were worse looks than Shea's, in my opinion. People are here for Monet. Oh, some tea, honey. People are saying that the judges would have loved Shea's look if it was Crystal Method wearing. And that is true tea, because I have to agree, because I mean, Crystal was walking down the runway in some mess sometimes, and she'd always get applauded for it. So I feel like the fact that they couldn't even appreciate the creativity here, like, fair enough if they said it's a little bit messy, but we appreciate the creativity, but they fully just were like, the outfit is shit. So I have to call on that. It's very interesting. People are living for the drama because they were starved from it from season 12. I mean, season 12 was very mature. There wasn't a lot of drama in season 12. People are not here for the other queens plotting to send Shea home. I mean, the game is the game, honey. And that's pretty much the roundup of the episode. Do let me know what you thought about this episode. Let me know what you thought about my commentary. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have, don't forget to put that notification bell on. I'm trying to get to 1.4 subscribers, honey, so I'd appreciate if you help me out with that. And thank you to everyone who subscribed so far. Till next time, guys. Bye.